Okay, so we're still dealing with logarithms. And so we want to solve the exponential and log functions. So look at number 1 there. How are we going to solve that? I can't put it into log form. First I have to get the exponential part by itself. So I need to get this by itself. So how are we going to move the 6? Good, divide by the 6. And so what's 120 divided by 6? 20 equals 4 raised to the 3x minus 2. And now we're in exponential form, right? So we can log, change it to log, or we can log both sides. I think changing it to log is going to be easier though.
Yeah.
So remember, we're in log base a of x equals y, and we're going to change it to a to the y equals x.
You mean the other way around?
Well, yeah, or vice versa. Okay, sorry. Yeah, or vice versa. So my a is 4. My y is your 3x minus 2, and my x is 20. So log base a of x equals y. Okay, we can add the 2. And divide by the 3, right? Now don't make that log base 422. Remember that plus 2 is separate. So the only thing is some of us can't do log base 4 in our calculator, so how would we do that? Use your change of base. So log base 420 is log of 20 over log of 4. And then add your 2, and then divide by your 3. And what do we get? Alright, so we got x is equal to 1.387. What about number 2 there? I've got to get that exponential part by itself. And right now that 600 is attached to it. So how do we move that first 600? Subtract it. So we get negative 100 equals negative 600 e to the negative 0.4x. And now how do we get that e to the negative 0.4x by itself? Good, divide by the negative 600. And so we get 1/6 equals e to the negative 0.4x. And then I'm going to change it to log form, which is going to be my natural log, yes, because it's base e. So I'm going to have my base is e, to the y is negative 0.4x, and x is 1/6. So I got log base e of x equals y.
Log you just because it's 10, right? I think.
No.
Different things.
Yeah, this is log base e. What is log base e? Natural log, right? So we got the natural log of 1/6 is equal to negative 0.4x. And divide by your negative 0.4.
That's what I was thinking of.
Teachers, at this time, please award positive Falcon points for students wearing ID. Thank you.
Oh, too bad for those that are absent. All right, so we need to get x by itself, and right now it's trapped down here with all this, but it's on bottom of the fraction. So first thing is let's get rid of the fraction. So multiply both sides by everything that's on bottom there. Now I'm not going to distribute that 150 though, okay? Don't distribute it. Just right now, leave it. I'm going to leave it at the front. Yeah, because now what I'm looking for is inside the parentheses here. I need to get it by itself, so let's just divide by that 150 to get rid of it. If we distributed, it'd just make it longer. And what does that reduce to? 4/3?
Jesus. Not being sarcastic.
All right, so we do a little work there to get that e to the negative 0.3x by itself, right? And then I'm going to change it to log form again. Y'all want to learn a different way? No. Okay.
Can we just see it a different way, or no?
I'll show you after I do this one then.
Like, just, we don't have to write it down?
Right. All right, so I'm going to change it to log.
Can you put like a natural log in front of it, like just put it in front of e, put it in front of the 1 divided by 92?
Yep. All right, and so we got x is 14.999. Now, another way you could do this, and it works on any of these. I'll actually show you with all three of them, I guess. When we got up here on this first one, let me change them. I'll change to black. It's up to you which way you work it, but on this first one, and I'm not doing 4 or 5 here, so I'm going to mark them out for a second. Y'all don't mark yours out. We're going to do them. I'm just going to scoot up before we do them. On this first one, when we got to 20 equals 4 raised to the 3x minus 2, we could log both sides with the base of the exponential part. So we could have said log base 4 of 20 equals log base 4 of 4 to the 3x minus 2, and log base 4 of 4 is 1. So when we had bungeed this in front, we would get log base 4 of 20 equals 3x minus 2, and then we could solve it from there. Alright, so I deleted all the other stuff, but remember on number 2, I'm just going to briefly write down what we had. We had gotten to the point where we said like 1/6 was equal to e to the negative 0.4x. Remember that? If you take log of that base, so that would be the natural log because it's log base e. This log base e of e would cancel because remember that's an exponent, so it bungeed in front. So you would get the natural log of 1/6 was equal to negative 0.4x. And then you could solve it from there. So it's the same answer. It's just a different way to go about writing it. Is it any more work than the other one? No, not really. Just a different way to do it. Okay, so either way works. And we could do the same thing with e once we had got, 3, once we got into that e to the negative 0.3x equals 1 over 90. Again, base e, so log base e both sides. And then your log base e's cancel. And we would have kept going from there. Same answer, not any harder.